Among these four types of SBUs, where do you think the usual business starts from? Which category? Yes, it's a question mark. Usually, company invest money in the high growth industry, but yet it does not do well in the beginning. So, in many cases, the company's SBUs starting from the question mark category. Once it gets well, where do you think that SBUs will move into? Stars, right. Stars are high growth, high share businesses or products that requiring heavy investment to finance rapid growth. Because it's growing rapidly, you need the money to produce, you need the money to distribute, you also need the money to promote. So heavy investment required to finance this rapid growth. Where do you think the stock categories business will go at the next stage? Yes, they will eventually turn into cash cows. Cash cows are low growth, high share businesses or products that are established and successful SBUs, requiring less investment to maintain market share. Because it's already established, you don't need as much as stars categories investment. You want to maintain your market share. Question marks are low share business unit in high growth market. That's why it requires a lot of cash to hold their share as well. Dogs are low growth, low share businesses and products that may generate enough cash to maintain themselves, but do not promise to be large sources of cash. So this is the best known portfolio planning method, classic Boston Consulting Group approach, BCG approaches. I have a question for you to think about. So what do you suggest for the categories that might fit in each of the BCG quadrant? What are the product categories that may be best fit for each of these BCG quadrant? Think about it, and when you get to offline class, we'll discuss together. However, this portfolio analysis approach have limitation. As you have done this by yourself, it is difficult, time consuming, and costly to implement. Management may find it difficult to define SBUs and measure market share and goals. It also focusing on classifying current businesses, but provide little advice for future planning. Because of these problems, many companies have dropped former matrix method in favor of more customized approaches that better suit their specific situation. So increasingly, companies are placing responsibility for strategic planning in the divisional manager who are close to their market, not the broad level, more localized and more closely relevant to the context of each department. But marketing needs to identify, evaluate, and select market opportunities and establish strategy for capturing them. So, as we discussed before, BCG matrix is about current businesses, so it's not serving well to identify growth opportunities. So, one useful device for identifying growth opportunity is the product market expansion grid. So, if you look at this slide, figure 2.3, it has two dimensions. Whether you are using the existing product and penetrating deeper to the existing market, that's called market penetration. You're making more sales to the current customers without changing its original product, such as by adding new stores in current market areas to make it easier for customers to visit. Secondly, you are selling existing product, but then the new market. So if you develop a new market, we call that strategy as market development. It involves identifying, developing new markets for each current products. For instance, manager could leave new demographic market, perhaps new groups such as seniors or younger could visit your stores. Manager could consider new geographic market in Korean Peninsula or in Asia, in Indonesia, without changing any product. That's market development. So one way of building up your businesses. Thirdly, you can use the strategy of product development. It involves offering modified or new product to current markets, such as by moving into new product categories. When Dunkin' Donuts start to launch breakfast, when McDonald's start to launch McCafe, new product categories moving into so product development and selling it to the current market. That's product development strategies. Lastly, diversification involves starting up or buying businesses beyond its current products and market. For example, the company could acquire a company that operates in a different market segment with a different product mix. So you are focusing on different market, totally different market with a different product mix. What is the example of it? Think about that. Let me give example using me and you for easy startup. What I'm doing now is that I'm teaching you marketing principle, which is 3 credit courses. What if I'm asking you to come and see me every day? So it becomes 10 credits of marketing principle. What kind of strategy is that? Yes, it's market penetration. So you are listening to this marketing principle just more. And if I'm charging you the money for each lecture, it will become market penetration, right? Current customers, more sales without changing its original product. How about the market development? What if I'm asking you to bring up new student to register for this class? What if I'm starting to offer this marketing principle at Anam campus or Hongik Sejong campus? It is market development strategy, right? Because I'm not changing the product. I only have developed a new market. That's market development strategy. How about that? I'm starting to offer the new course called Consumer Behavior Analysis or IMC, Integrated Marketing Communication for you guys. What is the strategy of it? Yes, that's product development strategy because I offer the new product to the current market, current customers. That's product development. But if I decide to start very new thing, maybe for the public servant, public officials at the Sejong City, 세종시 공무원, and start to teach them debate skills or presentation skill, or even I offer them yoga class, then it will become diversification. I start up new businesses, new products for the new market, completely new market. This diversification. This is another thinking exercise for you. Think about example of each market expansion grid using Starbucks, using your favorite brand. When you get back to the offline class, we'll discuss together what are the specific exemplary strategy for each sales. Okay, but companies sometimes want to abandon products or market for a number of reasons. What are the reasons for abandoning your product or market? Yes, a firm may have grown too fast or entered areas where it lacks experience, so they can handle it. Or the market environment might change, making some products or markets less profitable. You can see a lot of technological changes and no more MP3s available, and fold-upon business is no longer profitable. So depending on the market environment change, you may drop or you may drop the products or market less profitable. Some products and business units simply age and die. Now, let's talk about how to create value with your partners internally and externally. Marketing alone cannot create superior customer value, so under the company-wide strategic plan, marketers must work closely with other to form an effective internal company value chain. We call that as value chain. You may remember this. You may need to remember this value chain. It's a series of departments carry out value creating activities. So you design, you work with R&D department, you work with financial department, you work with PR department as a marketer, as a leader, and to form creating value, delivering the value, and to promoting the value. Also, more companies today are partnering with other members of the supply to improve the performance of the customer value delivery network. We call this as value delivery network. So you have yourself. Remember the Samyangnamen case in the chapter 1? But you have suppliers. You also have distributors such as Emart, Lotte-Mart, GS25, and both of distributor and manufacturer working together to deliver the value to final customers. So competition no longer takes place only between individual competitors. Rather, it takes place between the entire value delivery network created by these competitors. So think about the new business. Where does value come from? You are selecting the 배달의 민족, 요기요, etc. delivery networks. You are making a chicken, but if you fail to deliver on time, fresh hot chicken, your customers will be angry with your order. They will maybe complain about that. Although you ask delivery man to deliver your fresh hot chicken, it's not your fault, but sometimes still consumers feel dissatisfaction in that point. Then that lowers your satisfaction, quality of the control, right? So you have to think about whole value delivery networks from the suppliers, company, distributors to the customers all together. You have to make a partners. So now you can think about customers stand in the center of whole things, where the goal is to create value for customers and build what? Profitable customer relationship. So goal is that creating the value for customers and building a profitable customer relationship. I think now you may have all remembered the goal of the marketing. So consumers are the center of all things. Next comes marketing strategies. The marketing strategy means that marketing logic by what the company hopes to create this customer value and achieve this profitable relationship. To achieve these things, you have to come up with marketing logic strategy. Then company decides which customers it will serve. That is called as segmentation and targeting. And how. How can you serve your target, which is differentiation and positioning. That guided by marketing strategy, the company designs an integrated marketing mix made up of factors under their control: product decision, price decision, place decision, and promotion decision, which we called as 4Ps, marketing mix. To find the best marketing strategy mix, the company engages in marketing analysis, planning, implementation, and control. Through these activities, the company watches and adapts to the actors and forces in the marketing environment. So, I'd like to explain more detail in this circle, the concepts in this circle. So many sellers suffer from marketing myopia, but when they have a careful strategy development, they could understand what's focus and what's the benefit that their target consumer is looking for. The basic philosophy of market segmentation is this: you cannot satisfy all the consumers in a given category with one single offer, because human beings are all different in terms of their needs. Market consists of many types of customers, products, and needs. So marketer must determine which segments offer the best opportunity. Consumers can be grouped and served in various ways based on the geographic, demographic, psychographic, and behavioral factors like Seoul's, Changwon, 경남, 경북, 전남, 전북, geographic areas segmentation, demographic segmentation, male, female, younger, senior, affluent, or a little bit of a less affluent, psychographic consumers who are seeking for knowledge more, who are seeking for outdoor sports more, etc. Every market has segment, but not all ways of segmenting a market are equally useful. For example, Tylenol, you know the painkiller. When you have a headache, you have Tylenol, like heparin. Tylenol would gain little by distinguishing between low-income consumers and high-income consumers, pain relief users, because both respond to the same way to the marketing efforts. But in the car market, for example, consumers who want the biggest car or consumers who want the most comfortable car, regardless of price, and consumers who care mainly about price and operating economy, fuel efficiency, represent two different segments. So, if we're using the income as your segmentation criteria, it is highly useful and applicable for the car market industry, but not for Tylenol, headache, painkiller industry. So, first, you have to group the consumers who respond in a similar way to a given set of marketing efforts, like product, price, place, promotion. Yet, not all the segmentation is meaningful and useful for your product category. It differs by which industry you're working for. And companies are wise to focus their efforts on meeting the distinct needs of individual market segment. After that, a company should target segment on which it can profitably generate the greatest customer value and sustain it over time. A company might decide to serve only one segment, only one or few special segment or market niche, because this is a segment that major competitors overlook or ignore, so less competition. Or you may target several related segments, perhaps those with different kinds of customers but with the same basic want. Or you can target all market segments offering a complete range of products. If you are capable, you have enough finance and resources, you can market all segments, you can target all segments as you offer a complete range of products. Think about Amorepacific. Those cosmetic companies has several different brands, from the Seolhasu, target to senior woman who has relatively affluent income, till Etude House, targeting to teens and younger 20s who has price-conscious consumers. Companies enter a new market by serving a single segment. If this proves successful, they add more segments. The company must determine how to differentiate its market offerings for each targeted segment and what position it wants to occupy in those segments. It is called as positioning, which means that the place, the product, the brand occupies relative to competitors' products in consumers' minds. Okay, there are a lot of competitors going on in terms of car, but your cars has distinctive benefit, distinctive image as compared to current existing option. Then consumers believe that your car brand has very new, unique positioning. So all the positioning statement comes from the differentiation. So marketers plan positions that distinguish their products from competing brands and give them the greatest advantage in their target market. This is example for L'Oreal. Take a moment to read this one. This SDP strategy development will be explained more detail at chapter 2 in chapter 7. So don't worry about it. For now, you just have a sense of whole process of strategy planning. In chapter 7, we'll be learning more detail how to segmentize, how to target, what are the important criteria to make a decision on targeting and positioning. Okay? Next, After determining its overall marketing strategy, the company is ready to begin planning the details of the marketing mix, one of the major concepts in modern marketing. The marketing mix consists of everything the firm can do to influence the demand for its product. But we call that as simply marketing mix 4Ps: product, price, place, promotion. Those who are interested in marketing may challenge that 4P is traditional, very old concept, and they come up with 7P and 9Ps. But if you look at carefully, the 7P and 9P things can be also broadly categorized into the 4Ps, because this is like a philosophical terminology that captures what are the decisions involved on their product, price, place, promotion. Let me cover more details. So many possibilities can be collected into four groups of variable. The 4Ps, figure 2.5 shows the marketing tools under each P. Product means that goods and services combination the company offers to the target market. Price is the amount of money customers must pay to obtain the product. Place includes company activities that make the product available to target consumers. Promotion refers to activities that communicate the merits of the product and persuade target customers to buy it. An effective marketing program blends the marketing mix element into an integrated marketing program designed to achieve the company's marketing objectives. And this marketing mix consists to the company's tactical toolkit for establishing strong positioning in target market. Some critics think that the 4Ps may underemphasize certain important activities. For example, they ask, where are services? Or where is packaging? But as figure 2.5 suggests, many marketing activities that might appear to be left out of the marketing mix are included under one of the 4Ps. For instance, price, list price, discount, place, channels, logistics, products, warranty, design, features, packaging. It's all involved product decision. So they should not whether there should be 4 or 6 or 10 Ps, so much as what framework is most helpful in designing integrated marketing programs. It is also very interesting to ask how to make the 4Ps more customer-centric. Can you guess what it is? So when we redefine 4Ps to the 4Cs, what can you think? Price is called as customer cost because from the customer's point of view, you have to pay the cost. That's price. How about then place? How does place will be interpreted by consumer's point of view? If the product is available nearby you, what do you feel? If the delivery is quicker, what do you feel? It's convenience. Lastly, promotion. To consumer's point of view, what promotion means? That communication. So these 4Ps are company's point of view, can be translated into the 4Cs like customer solutions. So customers solve the problem by your product offering, including services in the broader term, but they have to pay the price. That's the customer cost. It also involves the place, whether they deliver, whether the consumers can find easily the product. Out of stock is not a problem. They can handle the out of stocks problem well. So it's convenient. Lastly, promotion. If they promote well, it can be a well handled communication issues. So 4Ps can be translated into the 4Cs. And knowing this insight, you can design the marketing program from the consumer's perspective.